Hey everyone, good evening, good afternoon, or good night from wherever you're joining us. We're thrilled to have you with us. Many of you know Steve already from being a member of TradeEZ, and if you're new to us, you're very, very welcome. And Steve, you should be able to start for us now.
Okay, great. All right, great everybody, and thanks for doing this and coming on board. You know, this is well needed, and I don't know what possessed me last weekend. I got up around 1 o'clock in the morning, and obviously, you know, I'm not gonna text people in the United States that early, but I started texting. We're, you know, TradeEZ on going on close to our 5th month, and we're about 91. We're in about 91 countries. So I decided that, you know, I'm gonna just start texting everybody, you know, that I know in my WhatsApp and in different parts of the world, and you know, and I you know, hey, how you doing? How's it going? And then, you know, as it was, you know, that took me a few hours to do, right? Because we have so many people all around the world, and I'm answering them in the texts, and you know, I don't know, I just couldn't sleep. I just wanted to get what's the thought process, right? And then I started around about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I started texting people all around the United States. And actually, one guy said that his wife said, "Your phone's going off. Who is this lunatic calling it or texting at 5 in the morning or 4:05 in the morning?" It was me, right? And I wasn't trying to wake anybody up, but you know, in the gist of it, so I actually did from 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, AM, all the way through the night till 11 o'clock. And then Sunday I started again all the way till 10 o'clock. And the reason being is, you know, I'm not some guy who is just doing this like a one-hit wonder where I'm just just trying to get as many people who are trying to join and subscribe and everything like that. You know, I know everybody in the industry. A lot of people will say, "I'm not calling anybody back. Are you crazy?" And I say, hell with that, you know. And I'm like, oh, well, this is not scalable. Well, I could do it now. Yes, if I grow and bigger, leaps and bounds, I'll do more in group Zooms and things like that. But for me, the most important thing is my legacy is depending on your success, right? So I took years away of my life from trading the markets, which I love more than anything in the world. Okay, there's like, when I used to wake up every single morning, I just couldn't wait to get to the office and trade. I had that much, like, I don't know what it was. I just loved it so much. I still love it. I'm going on my 40th year. That's why I add the word passion into my 5 key words, right? I am so blessed beyond words. I'm a needle in a haystack. I didn't have any years. I had 11 credits to my name. I was going to play Major League Baseball, right? I thought I was going to be a baseball player. And then obviously things turned around. You know, I got drafted by the New York Mets as a junior in high school. But I always wanted to become a doctor or a surgeon. And I never had the money, nor did I have the ability to sit in a classroom because I had ADD times 10,000 when I was 17, 18 years old. So when I went to work with my father in the American Stock Exchange, I felt something like, wow, there's something I could do maybe, you know, like I started to love it. And then once I got into trading, I said, oh my God, it's in my bones. Like I just couldn't, like I just loved it. That every single day was a different day. And every single day you challenge yourself. And every single day you just want to be better and better and better, right? That's why I add the word passion in one of my 5 key words, right? So with that, I felt really compelled to really, I told Ashley, I know you got 6,000 things on your plate. I'm doing a webinar this Thursday. She goes, are you crazy? I said, I need to do this because I am just really up to here, okay, with the stories and the things I'm hearing from people all around the world. So Ashley was good enough to, you know, I owe her a big favor, you know. So putting this big webinar together, it's a lot of work to do in such a short period of time. But the fact of the matter is that it's really, I love this industry so much. I love this so much. I love talking to people. I love helping people. The reason why we built TradeEZ is that we can change people's lives, right? This is not just some, you know, classroom nonsense. And I hear people spending $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000. I'm like, oh my God Almighty. So I built TradeEZ because I want this eventually to evolve into a 24-hour streaming channels with the best of the best people all around the world that can make a significant impact in anyone's life. Okay, so let me just start by saying, Ashley calls me yesterday and she says, who's ever, please put your phones on mute or whatever, okay? So Ashley says to me, I need a title. And within 10 seconds, I said, the 10 commandments of trading. Because there literally is 10 war stories I've heard over the weekend. And so I gave her a list of all the topics. And really, for me, it's disheartening. It's absolutely, I can't even elaborate my mind to think like this, okay? And as a baseball player, and I took baseball and all the disciplines in baseball into my trading. I got to tell you, I don't know if I would have been a great trader if I did not play the game of baseball, because the components are almost identical. You got to be consistent, right? You got to be able to have a work regimen. You got to be able, there's so many different overlapping elements of the game of baseball, a game that I love, to trading. So I got to tell you, thinking back, if I didn't play the game of baseball, I'd probably be a good trader. I don't know if I would be a great trader. And I was the #1 day trader in the world for close to 4 years. Okay, I had a 97.4% hit ratio. And that's not me buying something and selling it up a penny. Those were big cap stocks, big 8-point market, big spreads. So, and a lot of volatility back then. And I used to move the markets. I was the #1 bullet trader in the world. That's what I was told by Susquehanna. I was doing derivatives on, you couldn't short on a minus tick, and I was blasting bids. I used to move the markets at the end of the day, sometimes $5 to $40. Okay. So those days are gone, but that's okay, because I lived in a time when nobody really, people in my room outside, maybe Richie and a couple other people, would understand that type of markets that we are. So I spent 10 years, nearly 9 years of my life building the software that we have now. I know no back testing, just complete forward testing. So I want to get into why the reason why I asked for this webinar is because I literally, after talking to so many people from all over the world, I started writing down all the different things. I would just shake my head as I'm on the phone talking to them. And again, there's no greater joy in my life than for all of you to succeed. Like, I used to sell a gold for myself. The guy I met who was worth over $800 million today, he told me he used to sell a gold $100 a day for a month, and then 2 months, and then 3 months, and 405. And if he lost 100, he stopped. Then he would go to 200, 300, 400 each month. I used to take, I didn't have his time. I said, I'm going to just do it every week. I'm going to take $100 this week, $100 the next week, $300 the next week, $400 the following week. And I was consistent. And I think out of nearly 10 years, I mean, being a big trader the way I was, I think I had 220 losing days, 1.5 days a month. Okay. And the average loss was about $1,500, $1,600. Okay. And back in 1991, when I was trading like that, okay, I eventually took the money I had and started my own company, Tiger Securities. But again, I took the same approach, right? So I want to start by what I heard this weekend. And okay, why is it not there? Okay. Why can't this go? Okay. All right. There it is. Sorry. So the first thing I want to talk about, and I don't care who you are, you're not bigger than the market. Absolutely not. You're not bigger than the market. And for me, this is something I could speak for 3 hours on, but I don't have 3 hours to do this to you, right? It's risk management, preservation of capital. What do I mean? Stop orders. I can't tell you how many people I spoke to this week don't use stop orders. And I'm saying to myself, well, how many times do I have to say in a week, would you get in a car with a loved one or with yourself and drive a car with no brakes? The answer is no. That's common sense. So why wouldn't you put stop orders in? So a couple of days ago, we were calling a great short. I'm not going to mention the person's name. I'm not trying to make him feel bad or anything like that. But we were calling a short, and he went in to buy them. They dropped 40 handles on the S&P and that person lost close to $5,000. And he didn't have a stop in. A couple, 3-4 months ago, a person in this room, I said, look to cover the S&Ps here, just cover them, right? That person didn't cover them, didn't have a stop, and the S&Ps valued 400 points. 400 points on one lot. And they were down $20,000. And I'm like, this can't be happening. So the person says, what do I do, Steve? What do I do? What do I do? I said, here's what you're going to do. You have a choice. I can't tell you what to do by law. But you have two options. Either A, you cover, you take the $20,000 hit, or B, you have enough money somewhere else. Yes, I do. Go put another account and then trade around that position. Leave that position. I think we're in a bear market. I think you're going to get a pretty good drop. I don't know about 400, but you're going to get a pretty good drop. Maybe you lose 9, 8, or 9, but let's just make the money back up in the other account. Person's done. 2 days later, I have my account open. Good. Next thing I know, I hear, sorry. Next thing I know, I hear, yes, I opened my account, and that person, after about a month later, I think it was about a month later, the S&Ps dropped 390 points. And I screamed, did you cover them? And she said, yes, I just bought them back. So I said, you lost $1,000 or $500 or whatever it was, 500. Sorry, 500. What did you make from the time you opened that account following me, my methodologies, and teaching to them? And she said, I made about $19,000. So I said, great job. So I don't ever want you ever not to trade with a stop order ever again. Is that clear? Yes, I'm sorry. And don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to you and your family. 3-4 days. Do you know I went out to dinner? I actually ordered something. I called the waiter. I said, cancel my order. I just drank water. I was completely sick to my stomach because you don't understand who you're dealing with. Okay? You don't understand who you're dealing with here. I take everything to heart. Now, I was calling shorts on the S&Ps from 18 to 28. The high was 27.25 with a 30 stop. I saw this monster sell divergence. It ran low, probably ran 4 that I thought, okay, but still in the zone. I knew that I knew they were going to drop. Now, did I think they were going to drop 40 handles? No. Did I think they were going to drop 10 to 15? Yes. Okay. And that person calls me and I said, I lost $5,000. Like, on what trade? I didn't have one stop out that day. Well, I got long above 25. Why? Because I thought they were going to go higher. That's not what we were talking about. I got so sick for that person because I care about that person. And why did I do that? Because I don't want to see people fail. And that person did not have a stop underneath the market. If you think they're going to go up from there, I don't understand. I'm calling shorts, and it's his money. He can do whatever he wants. Doesn't have to listen to me. Who the hell am I? Okay. But why did that person not have a stop order in? You cannot trade the market with stops. You want to blow up your account? What do you want to do here? I just don't understand I just don't understand this. Okay? I really just don't understand the mentality of this. Okay? I really don't. And I'm a hard ass when it comes to this because this is the fact that I talk about in my 5 key words. It's discipline. I went before the enforcement division of the New York Stock Exchange one time because they did not understand how one human being can trade all these names, millions and millions of shares in a day. They thought I had 50 guys in a room. I go, and if I did, I said, who cares? Well, it's not me. It's me. I said, how about this? I get in a room. I trade all day long. I'll get a car for you and sit there and just keep quiet and not say a word. Okay? So why in God's creation do you not care about preservation? First of all, you work your ass off to save the money, to put the money in a trading account. Let me tell you something. I traded my whole life. I didn't work for one person. First of all, I can't work for anybody because I'm half crazy. Okay. Second of all, okay, you think that with my personality, that someone's going to tell me what to do. Not happening. So the good Lord gave me a gift. That's why I always tell you I'm a needle in a haystack. I have 11 credits to my name. I don't even know what I would do. Like Stevie Cohen one day and I were talking. And he said, Stevie, what would you do with your life? He goes, I don't know, Stevie, what would you do? I go, that's all I know how to do. Gary Rosington of the Leonard Skinner Band said, all he knows how to do is play the guitar. He doesn't know what else to do. That and go fishing. This is all I know how to do. So this to me is my life. This to me is something that every single day I have the same passion, the same love, the same everything. Why can't you adhere to having stop orders? Risk management is everything in this game. You're not bigger than the market. You're not bigger than the market. I'm going to tell you another great story. Okay, and these are real life stories. I'm driving into New York City. My phone's blowing up. My phone's blowing up. Right? I pull over. I said, hello, it's Stevie. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, hi. What's up? Stevie, I need your help, please. Well, I go, what happened? Your family? What's the matter? He says, no. I shorted PayPal right before the earnings. I said, you did what? You did what? That's gambling. I know, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm down $30,000. So I go and pull over, right? I almost opened the door and vomited because I couldn't stand what I just heard. Why are you taking a trade on after the market hours and trading and shorting a stock and not even having a stop order in? Are you bigger than that stock, PayPal? No. So you shorted a couple hundred shares or 500 shares, and I think ricocheted, whatever, 1,000 shares that ricocheted, whatever points, 30 points, $30,000. No stop order. To me, that's gambling. Why don't you wait till the earnings come out and then trade it, short or long? It just drives me crazy. I just don't understand why people want to be self-destructive. No stops, trading into earnings, trading into economic news. Why? And not putting stop orders in a risk management. I told this guy, I'll help you under one condition. I want you to go right now, stop what you're doing, go take a picture of your face, of your family, your wife and your 2 daughters, and call me when you're done with that picture. A half hour later or an hour later, he calls me, all right, I took a picture. Why? What's the matter? What did I do? I said, where do you shave every morning? In my bathroom. I go, I want you to take that picture, go blow it up, get it, whatever, what's the word I'm looking for? No, not enlarged, the processed, right? Process it, okay? Develop it, that's the word, I'm losing my mind, okay? And I want you to put that picture right where you shave every single morning. And when you're shaving, I want you to stare at your wife and your 2 daughters and swear to them, you'll never do that ever again. If you do that, I'll help you. I give you my word. I give you my word. I'm going to do this. I said, I'm not going to lift a finger until you tell me you did it. Now, I should have really asked them to take a picture of it, but I didn't really want to like kill him. You know, because did he really do it, or is he telling me he really did it? I was this close to saying, give me that. I want a picture of that, of you and your 2 daughters on the mirror. No, but I didn't do it. I was so tempted to do it because I'm crazy, right? He made the $30,000 back in about 40 days. And I vowed to him, and he vowed to me, he would never do that again. It was one of the greatest lessons of his life. He traded into earnings and he had no stops. He had no risk management at all. Zero. Absolutely zero. So anyway, with that being said, it's really predicated on the fact that you need to have preservation of capital. You need to fully understand exactly the tolerance level. You work your butt off to save this money. You want to trade it, you want to compound it, you want to learn from me, that's great. But if you don't want that, then if you don't want, you know, right? Oh, okay. So sorry about that. So again, the most important thing is I always maintain stops. When I trade S&P futures, okay, you want to hear a great story? I was long 150 contracts, I think, one day. I was up about $30,000, right? It was touching, getting to get filled. And then boom, I got stopped out. I said, what the hell happened? I was just about to make $30,000 on this trade. And boom, I go from making 30 to losing like, I don't know, 30, I think. I said, what in God's creation happened? So before I could think what happened, as it's bouncing, I shorted another 150. I was going to do 300, 150 here and 150 here. And as it's taking on my offer, I don't get filled. And boom, it drops 8. I took a chair and I threw it over my head, and the four legs stuck in the wall. Earnings came out in Google that were released, supposed to be at 4 o'clock, came out, they released it at 5 after 1. My freaking head, I saw white dots. But what saved me was the stop order. Because I don't know where that thing could have went. Now, after I got stopped out, it dropped another 5. Then it bounced. And I tried to short them. And as sick as me, I'm shorting them right where they're stopping. And I don't get filled, and they dropped 8. I would have made all my money back. So it's a double whammy. It happens. But I had a stop order in. You never know what can come out in the market. Look at yesterday. They went from 27.25 to 91.5, like that in 20 minutes. In actually 20 minutes. And I'm just really just dumbfounded at how many people are telling me they're struggling because they're not putting in stops. So for me, this is very sore subject for me. And that's why this was probably the icing on the cake. Why I was so compelled. I literally must have spoke to hundreds of people over the weekend. I don't know what made me do it. I said, you know what? I'm going to take a pause. I was up. And I said, I'm just going to text everybody from all around the world, all the people from Europe to Australia to Japan to Egypt to Croatia, Argentina, everybody, Brazil, you name it, Australia, I think I said, and I just texted everybody down there. How you doing? It's Steve. Hope you're doing well. Please ask me if you have any questions or anything like that. By the time I got to the 7 o'clock or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the US, my phone was already blowing up on, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, blowing up. And I answered and texted everyone back. And then the 7 o'clock, I just started bombarding people till about 2 in the afternoon. That's how many people there were. Or from actually 4 o'clock in the morning, sorry, from till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would say that 3 out of every 10 calls that I made were 4, maybe 4. I'm getting hurt. I'm not using the stop orders. Why? Why are you not putting stop orders in? Again, I don't want to repeat myself. Why are you driving a car with no brakes? If you had a car that had brakes, and you had a car with no brakes, what would you rather do? You're gonna ring. All right. So please adhere to what I'm saying here. Okay. The second thing I want people to recognize is the quality trade setups. Somebody once said to me a couple of days ago, Steve, can you tell me what the best setups are? I don't know. I mean, the double blues, the big buy reversals when the MACDs are crossing up from below, the sell reversals when the MACDs are crossing down from above the pivot, and I get the 15 reversing, and you short the first bounce. Those are my bread and butter. But the triple Kabuskis, the triple Lindy's, and what is my favorite? Right? They're all my favorite. But what's the icing on the cake is the sell divergences. Just like we caught the short on the S&Ps twice today, or we caught the lows when they were pushing down early this morning to 65.5, and I missed it, right? Because I saw you were in single digits, the MACDs were below the pivot, and you came down, you made a new low, and boom, they ran right up to 74.75. To be able to watch and see these divergences, why do you think I teach dynamically? I teach dynamically because that maybe you're at Mach 3, Mach 4, Mach 5, but if you're at you're at those levels, you're going to learn, because I believe every second counts. And why are you going to then take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months to read a course and look at books? You know, I have books in my drawer over here, not to read because I can't read, forget it. Okay, I bought these books because I want to show people. Look at page 342. Oh, this is a point and figure. So you got to wait for that chart to so you got to, oh, let me see. Did the Bitcoin make that pattern? No. You got to wait. I teach dynamically. I studied this 9 years. I built this for 9 years. So I am teaching dynamically trends, which can have a buy and a sell divergence, right? Buy reversals that have a buy and a sell divergence, sell reversals that can have a buy and a sell divergence. I'm teaching quality trade setups, pattern recognition, right? I want the probabilities in my favor. Okay, I want the probabilities in my favor. So when people look at a trade, you go left to right. I can walk out of this room and I go left to right, boom, up and down, boom, and I can see it like that. I know you can't do it that fast, but you will. You will. You will. And that's the important thing. Why, again, I say this because my legacy depends on your success. Okay, I want to see all of you do well. I want to see all of your lives change. I don't want to see you guys struggling. And like, I didn't even have dinner 2 nights ago because of the story I had. Guy loses $5,000. It just ripped me to shreds. That wasn't the trade. The quality trade that we had was the short. So whether it's Forex, whether it's ETFs, whether it's spiders, commodities, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or index futures, okay, the trades are there. Yes, do we get stopped out every so often? Of course. But I feel very confident that we're north of 90%. And that's, if I was not 90% or higher, I was not worth me doing this. Absolutely not. I'll be 60 years old in 5.5 months, and I still feel great. I'm not doing this if you're not 90% or better. I'm not. There's other things I could do with my life. And I want all of you to be able to be 90% or better. The quality trade setups, you have me as a mentor, you have technology that I give you, you have 2 forms of confidence, which is, again, one of my 5 keywords. All right. So again, please look at the setups, trade the setups with confidence, believe in what you're seeing. Again, yes, for those of you who are new and those of you who have been with me, divergences are very, very hard. But I told you again, when you master the art of divergences, and you hear me say, this is a sell divergence, right? Or a buy divergence, right? And I circled the telestrator and I explained the trade. You please, it's imperative to watch these strategies, to learn these strategies and understand the quality of trade setups, okay? All right. This is important. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I got college kids calling me up, telling me they want to drop out of college so they can come trade. I'm like, what are you, crazy? Just stay in college, learn, right? I have so many people who are like, you know, how long is it going to take me? It's going to take me 2 days to learn this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, you got to take a step. You got to learn the indicators, 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to learn the numbers to the right. You got to learn my terminology. You have to then learn the strategies. You have to identify trends, buy reversals, sell reversals. You have to do it my way. If you follow my methodology, You put that ladder against the house and you start climbing that ladder, and each step you'll learn from me. I will be the one that I feel confident I could change your life. But if you're going to rush through this, okay, if you're going to rush through this, it's not going to happen. It's going to take you time. There's a gentleman, he's not here today. And most of you know who he is because you hear me say his name in the live room all the time, in the live channel. Eddie. I never met Eddie in my entire life. He called me up one day. He's from the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx, right? The only borough that you can say the in front of. And the next thing you know, what happens? I meet him. He said, do you mind if you can help me? I said, I'll help you. I'm going to help you just like I help everybody else. No special preferential treatment. I teach them the same way as I would teach anybody in this webinar or anybody around the world. And Eddie, okay, sat at this round table, looked at me like I had 90 heads. Didn't understand the word. I said, trust me, you'll get it. Because I teach two ways, visualization and repetition, right? So Eddie decides to really stick it out. So for about a good 3 weeks, doesn't do a damn thing, opens up an account, funds it, but listens to me every single day, sits in that chair, doesn't say boo, learns and listens. I saw it in his eyes how much he had that desire. I said, Eddie, we're gonna have a plan now. And this week, I want you to listen in-depthly. Forget about the last 3 weeks. Done. Week goes by. What's next? This week, I want you to learn all the strategies. As I'm calling them out, I want you to recognize them, ask questions, recognize them on your laptop. Done. Third week. What do I do now, Steve? I want you to take, are you right-handed or left-handed? Right-handed. You take your right hand, and you put on that mouse, and you're going to play with that ladder. Get the hand-eye coordination, go click, 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 put it in, boom, boom, raise it, et cetera, okay? If you're only allowed to move your hand off that mouse to go eat, to go to the bathroom, or go home. If I see that hand off that mouse, one time, I'm throwing you out of here, I told him, right? I would turn it over my shoulder every so often. That hand was on that mouse like glue. On the fourth week, he comes in. I said, you ready? I'm ready. Today you're going live. He had 7. He wasn't here today. He had a bad, something happened to his car yesterday. He hit his goal today from home. He's up 8 out of 9 days because one day he wasn't here. He didn't trade. He had a car. 8 out of 9 days winning trades, and he's in the thousands of dollar range, mid-thousands. So he's up about $45,000, $5,000. I think 4 to 5, something like that. I believe that's what he said. This man listened to me because he wants me to change his life. He puts stop orders in, preservation of capital, trades the right patterns. I don't go tapping on the shoulder and go, fire. I don't do that. I don't give him any special preferential treatment. He listens. I turn on every so often. How you doing? He goes like this to me. Good, right? I'm proud of him. And I'm proud of all of you for taking the leap for me to be the one to teach you. But now I got to get you in gear. That's why I want this webinar, because I want to get you in gear and put you back on the track. For those of you who need it, maybe a lot of you who are on this already get this and understand this, right? But I want all of you to understand that I am here giving my life and blood. I eat standing up. Every bone in my body is killing me, my limbs, my joints. I don't know what's going on with me. And I still do this because I have the passion that I can eat steel. Nobody, I'm telling you, nobody was going to beat me trading. Nobody. I'm telling you, I had that mindset to be not only the great, but the greatest. And that's the mindset that you have to be that person. You want to change your life, you have to have that inner hunger, that inner desire, that unbelievable focus, that work hard works. I spent 15, 16 hours a day building this for almost 9 years. Even now, my team, Ashton, Joe, and myself, we're working 15, 16 hours a day, 3 people doing the work of 18. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So you're not going to get it tomorrow. You're going to get it. It's going to start coming. Don't feel dejected. It'll come. It'll come. And you know why I know that? Because I've done it. And I've seen people who are highly successful, who have been with me, now are on their own. Not even in my live channel. They just have the swap when they just trade. These guys are just that good. They know the system that well. All right. So remember, don't rush this. Okay. Don't take this slow. All right. And remember that what you want to be able to do, okay, is fully understand. Take a deep breath. Don't let this get you down. Learn, listen, and start understanding that when you're in the markets, you wait patiently for the right pattern. You learn, you start understanding the terminology. We have a terminology sheet of all the different things. I don't say something different every single day. I say the same phrases of the day, except when I go on the tangent on these crazy stories and things like that, right? But I'm not here to confuse you. I'm here to tell you exactly what I say. Higher lows, lower highs, divergence, buy divergence, sell divergence, double blues, so triple Lindy's, triple Kabuskis. I say the same stuff, It's repetition and visualization. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is scaling in versus averaging down. So we give ranges because of the fact that I don't know everybody's account size. And that's the only way I've ever traded my whole life. You scale into a position, right? But you have a stop in place. Averaging down is completely different than scaling in. Completely different. If anybody tells you otherwise, tell them to come talk to me. Scaling in and scaling out is, right? Well, scaling in, if you have a position that's going up in your favor, you start scaling out. If you're short, okay, and you're dropping, you want to start covering. You're scaling into the position to cover the short. But scaling in, so if I go like before on the SPs, I said 80, what did I say, 79 to 89. They got down to 82 and then ripped back up to 89 again. I'm scaling in, but I have a stop at 77. I have a stop at 77. No matter what happens, if I have bids at 89, 87, 85, 80, 83, 81, I have a stop at 77. Averaging down is what I did my first trade in my entire life. No regard for stops. I mean, no regard. Averaging down, you have no regard for stop orders. So my first trade, I had $3,000 in the account. I opened up an account. I bought 10, my first trade in my life. I bought 10 50 calls in American can at 2 3/4 or 2 7/8, no, 2 3/4, right? So I pretty much used up almost $1,500 of my money on a 10 lot, okay? And no, a 5 lot, sorry, 5 lot, five contracts I bought. And then I watched it go down. Then this is like the end of September, and I was buying a Feb of the following year, right? I watched that stock go, make a long story short really quickly, watch that stock go from 50, 51 and a half, all the way down to 41, 40 and a half, 41. I bought a little bit down, bought more, like maybe 2 and an 8. I bought more, maybe $1.50. I bought more at like, you know, and the next thing I know, I'm out of money. I watched that. Instead of stopping myself out at 2, I could have always bought it back again. I watched it go all the way down to almost to a stint, where I was broke. I was out. I had no money for Christmas. I had nothing. Zero. Broke. And I was working for $2.10 an hour. So go figure how much $2.10 divided into 3,000, how many hours I had to work for that money. And then I got lucky. A week before expiration, the stock exploded. And I sold everything out. And I made about $1,800, which was like, oh my God. And I never forget that story. I'm hanging up the phone to sell. My father standing behind me. I said, hey, what's up? He said, are you out? I said, I'm out. My dad was the floor broker in the American Stock Exchange. It was like 3:45. I picked up the phone and said, Tommy, sell whatever I had, sell 1950 calls, American can market. Get out. Boom. I hang up the phone. My father's sitting right behind me. I'm like, hey, Dad, what's up? He said, are you out? I said, I'm out. He said, are you out? I said, yes, I'm out. There's a broker selling my order right now. He said, when I came on the floor this week, I saw a penny faced up. I bent over and I made a wish that you wouldn't lose any money. I mean, that stock rallied $11 in 1 week. Unheard of. So he says to me, what'd you learn from this? I'm like, oh my God, it's my father. I better answer this guy right. I said, I guess when you have a pet, whenever you have a losing position, you look for a penny faced up. He said, no, you moron. He said, you never average down. You know, I never did that ever again. It's crazy how the things that have happened to me in my life get me to where I am now. That's why I always tell people I went to Harvard and Oxford, not once, but twice. That's a true story. And then when he walked away, I said, Tommy, buy 10 Merrill calls. I was insane, right? Those were my first 2 options trades. So what I'm trying to tell you, okay, there's a big difference between scaling in and averaging down. Averaging down, you have no regard for yourself, no regard for the market. Just keep buying, 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 buying. No preservation of capital, nothing. You don't care. Absolutely no regard for anything. No regard. Scaling in, you scale in, boom, you discipline, you have your stop, boom. You get stopped out. Oh, wait. Look, nobody likes to take a loss. I would eat a chair if I took a loss, right? But I would come back like a freaking, like a biggest lion or tiger in the world. One day I walked in and my assistant, I saw his body language. I didn't say a word. I knew something was wrong. I had my bowl, I went in the kitchen, I had my bowl of Cheerios. I ate my bowl of Cheerios. I washed the bowl out. I made a cup of coffee. I sat down. I saw in my left eye, he was like nervous and twitching and everything. I let it go. I go into the coffee room. I washed out my mug or whatever. I come back in. I said, how bad? He said, $90,000. I said, what did you do? I forgot to put the cover order in Procter & Gamble, and you were down $90,000 up. I forgot to buy the 30,000 shares on the close, and we're down. It's up 3 points. I screamed at him with the top of my lungs, almost blew 40 blood vessels in my eyeballs. I said, you better stay with me. And I made $91,000 that day. I was completely, I didn't leave the office till 5:30. That's how many shares I did that day. I must have did probably, if I had to guess, I don't remember exactly, probably close to 10 million shares that day. So you can always make it back. Nobody likes to take a loss. A win is a great feeling, but nobody likes to take a loss. Sometimes a loss can be related to news event or just the pattern just failed, right? But, you know, scaling in versus scaling out, scaling in versus averaging down is a really big topic for me. So again, I just really want to stress this, okay? So please understand that. So as a beginner or someone that's been trading, there's 2 parts to this, paper trading. And why paper trading is so important is because you got to get used to the, if you're using a ladder, you want to have the hand-eye coordination, okay? And you want to be able to paper trade, learn the strategy, see how you're doing, put the orders in. Typing orders in, that's not good. We'll get to that later in the next part here in the webinar. But paper trading is very, very important. Paper trading is truly giving yourself the confidence. Yes, I understand it's different than trading real money. Don't get me wrong. You have emotions with real life money, which you shouldn't have, but you're a human, you will. Paper trading, you have no emotions, you're dead, right? Because you just don't care. You just, blah, 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 yeah, buy some here, nice, you know, let me say. No, learn the strategy, learn to scale in, put a stop order in, learn how to scale out of the position, right? Learn by paper trading, hand-eye coordination, like I told you what Eddie did, if you're using a ladder, if you're typing orders in, or have hotkeys. Learn how to put the orders in, adjust your shares. Maybe you want to go, maybe you want a pyramid. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Or maybe you go 1, 1, and 1. Maybe you go 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't know. There's so many different ways. It's not scientific, but you got to learn to paper trade. Now, my phone blew up over the weekend because somebody said to me, "Hey, Steve, can you do me a big favor?" And he said, "I want to thank you." I'm sorry, I want to thank you, a bunch of these people. I said, "For what?" He said, or they said, "Well, I never really thought about this though, because when you hit your goal, I would just keep going on and going on, and some days I would give it all back. But I stopped once I hit my goal. I'm above I go right back to paper trading." I said, "Bingo. That's a great job. That's a great job. I'm going to put that in my webinar," because that person recognized that he met that goal, doesn't want to go home, doesn't want to go fishing, doesn't want to go to Home Depot. That person decides to stay involved, keep learning, watching dynamically, and he went and he shifted to paper or, simulated mode. That is what you do once you're in the mode of trading live. When you hit your goal, you go back to paper trading. Learn, keep learning, keep getting better and better and better and better. But if you're a beginner, what you want to do is you want to be able to take the simulator and start learning the terminology, understand everything that I'm saying, okay? Understand how to look at the strategies, get ready to hear and move your hand in the way that you can put orders in, right? And understand the focus point of why paper trading is important. Real life simulation. Yes, I say these things over and over again. I understand it's not the real thing, but it's a start. And eventually you'll have enough confidence. And that's why, you go maybe odd lot shares, odd lots, anything in the 100. Some people trade 10 shares, 10 shares, 10 shares, 20, 20, 20, 30, 30, 30, 40, 40, 40, and get the point up to a round lot, which is 100 shares or more, or they could trade a micro or a nano in nano or micros in Forex. But for me, paper whites, this is a really important part of the 10 Commandments, is because paper trading really gets you your first step forward. If you're a beginner, you're going to take that one step forward. Now, I do have a lot of guys in here in my chat who have been pros, who are basically people who are constantly been trading for years. They're not going to go to paper trading. But that's just a group of about 70, 80, 100 people that I know in our channel. But most of you from around the world, okay, who are coming to me and please, Steve, my phone blew up today with how many people, please, I want to learn how to trade. I want to learn how to trade futures. Well, you have to do my way or the highway. You have to, open up an account. You have to make sure that, I will get into the broker and everything later. You want to be able to get live market data for your simulator, and you want to be able to learn by practicing on that simulator. Hand-eye coordination, putting the orders in, knowing how to put stop orders in, knowing how to change the orders. You have to learn that technology. And those of you who are now trading live on your own, or me teaching you to get the next step forward, like Eddie, Eddie did just say he hit his goal. I tell him, I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm paper trading." Music to my ears. Music to my ears. So he gets it. Now I got to times him by 50 to 1 million people, because he's listening. And my father used to say to me, one of the greatest gifts in life is the ability to listen. I just don't say these things for the sake of just using up your time or just being on a Zoom. I say these things because I know what I'm talking about. So paper trading is a very, very key part of trading, especially if you're a beginner. Because once you master that, then you're going to go live, baby steps, okay? And then you're going to have that confidence in that technology, putting the orders in, whether you're typing them, hotkeys, or on a ladder. And you're going to be able to put these orders into a point that you're going to feel confident, because now you went from paper trading to live trading. You know the system. A couple of days ago, I was talking to a person, and he says, I opened up this new brokerage account. Oh my God, I got hurt today. I said, why? Oh, because I don't know the technology. I said, do you ever think about going paper trading before you started going live? Oh man, you're right. Oh. Eureka. You don't know the technology. You're not used to it. So why? So this also falls into this category. Here's a guy who trades his real money, good amount of money, and he switched to brokerage firm. And what did he do? He went right in like, you know, boom, like nothing. And he screwed up because he didn't know how to put stop orders in. He got all flustered. And instead of just taking 2 or 3 days to learn the system, paper trading, he went in and lost, boom, boom, boom. I mean, not a lot, but you know, a couple of thousand, maybe $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. What he could absorb it or not. It's just, the mindset was take a deep breath, a new system, you paper trade, you get your hand-eye coordination, you learn the system, you learn the ladder, you don't learn everything, and then guess what? Then you go and trade. So paper trading is very, very important. Okay. All right. So we're on to the next one, which is no opinion. So I started with a guy, okay, and then I eventually went on my own. And this guy decided to come with me, and he would not understand why the stock market went up. He blew $200,000 of my money. The father gave me the money back. He blew another $200,000. I think it was. I blew it again. The father wrote me a check, right? I said, Johnny, I can't have this. You're out of your freaking mind. I said, you know, you think the stock market should go to zero. Why are you here? Now I don't understand why they go up. I can't take it. Why they go up? I see no reason for the stocks to go up. I said, can you ever just try to buy something one time? Right? I said, thank God for your father, but you're not doing right by the man. Anyway, he had an opinion. You cannot trade the market based upon an opinion. Everything I do is technical oriented. I don't look at fundamentals at all. I am the biggest bear on the face of the earth. Okay? I just have hair all over my body. I'm a bear. Because I think this, and I just think, I don't want to even tell you what I think. Okay? Because you'll never, it's not really right for me to say that. But I have my own opinion. I can just basically say we have $34 trillion in debt. The household income is the highest ever in the trillions. We have student loans up the yin yang. Okay? And I can go on and on and on and on. Why I think the market's going to zero. I don't come in and trade like that. So you trade what you see. And when I make up all these sayings and everything like that, it's because I say, I make a joke. I'm going to put them on a t-shirt. Trade what you see. TradeEZ, trade what you see. Right? So trade what you see. Learn from the strategies I'm teaching you. Keep your opinions over here. You know, I was walking in Lulu one time, Lululemon, and Apple. And I said to my daughter, Ellie, where are we going? Because Daddy, I'm going to show you this new store that opened up. She was like 15, 16. Lulu. I go, what the hell is a Lulu? And we walked in, there was all these clothing and everything. I'm like, you want this stuff? She goes, oh, Daddy. I was like this in the store. I couldn't move. I ran back the next day or 2 days later. It was a weekend. I looked at the stock, it was 83 or 63 or 73. I said, this stock's got to be bought. The store was packed. So it's not like fundamental analysis is not what I do, but the stock ran at 340, right? But what we do here, okay, we teach basically the same things over and over again. Okay? And so the most important thing, okay, is that you have to trade the markets based upon what you see and not based upon an opinion. Okay? And it's really unbelievable how many people say, like a couple of days ago, well, I thought they were going up. And you lose $5,000. And you can do whatever you want, it's your money. You didn't look at technicals. You just decided what to buy because you felt they were going up. You felt they were going up. I don't think I've ever traded my entire life based upon an opinion. I don't mean an opinion when you look at a chart. I'm talking about opinion based upon what you think of the overall market. I don't say, oh, I want to short crude here. Crude went from 30 to 50. It's got to be sold here. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, all the technicals saying buy, 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 buy. So you cannot trade with an opinion. Do you know I never read the newspaper? Do you know I never watched TV in the morning? I used to come in, I still come in. I come in like loosey-goosey, nicey, boom, let them open, boom, get ready, boom, let's go. I don't care what analysts say. I don't care how many people are bearish here. I don't give a crap. You know what? I don't even watch the news. I don't even know what it's like to read a newspaper. So trade what you see. Don't have an opinion. It's very, very important. Okay? Please listen to me on this. So it's really important, okay, to set goals for yourself. Okay? Okay. So when I started, I told you I met a guy, his name was Steve, and he set a goal for $100 a day for a month. He was his wife was pregnant, they just got married, and he got into the goal pit as a local. So if you're a local, you're at the lowest bottom and you're trying to buy gold, half of one, like big orders, guys aren't even looking at you. You're lucky you get filled. Sometimes it will blow right through. You're bidding a half and it's trading at even, and you're like, how come I didn't buy them? You know, I'm bidding because these guys never, if they're selling 50 contracts, okay, you know, in the gold pit back then, they don't want to sell, 20 and 30, boom, get out. They don't want to have an out trade where then they have an error. So, oh yeah, 19 for you, 1 for you, 30 for you. No, these guys didn't want that back then in the old days, right? So when I got upstairs and I started trading, I said, after this guy taught me, I said, I'm going to make $100 a day, but I'm not going to wait a month. I'm going to wait a week. Then I went to 200, then 300, then 400. And then in 11 months, I think I made $1.7 million in 1991. In 91? Yeah. Okay, that was a staggering amount of money. 91 to 93. 91, I think. Right? 91. So the point is, you set your goals for yourself. You hit your goal. Imagine you make $250 a day. You've got 100. You go to 200. Okay, let's say you go to 250. Okay, that's $75,000 a year. You go 500. That's 125,000 a year. You go 750 a day. That's 175,000. You do 1,000, $250,000 without taking any time off. Set goals for yourself, and when you set your goals, go back to the last clip. You go back to paper trading. Again, how many people told me, CV, I got to tell you, I can't thank you. For what? Oh, I met my goals, and I go right back to paper trading. Well, that's the common sense thing to do. How many people, oh man, I made it, I gave it back at 3 o'clock. Well, that's great. You worked exactly 6 hours for nothing. Lock it in, set your goals, and then expect to keep elevating your goals, okay? Really super important here for that, okay? Very important, okay? What's the next one here? Oh, having the right broker. So why is this important? Having the right broker is very, very important. Whether you're trading futures, stocks, or whatever. So if you're trading stocks, I find if you're day trading, it's very hard to type orders in. I don't care if you have hotkeys or not. There are a number of firms that have the ladder system, okay? So the right broker is someone that you have to define for yourself, and I help you through that, okay? So if you want to trade futures, let's say, for example, TradeStation, they could do futures, options, and equities, right? Okay, but then you have to say to yourself, okay, well, if you want to trade futures and you only have X amount of dollars in your account, well, TradeStation for one E-mini is $1,900 margin and $500 margin for a micro. You might, well, it's pretty high. I got $10,000 in my account. I can only do like 3 or 4, 3 tops, maybe four tops, 3 yes. But if you have $150,000 in your account or $250,000 in your account, okay, then you could use a TradeStation if you like. They have the nice ladder system, they have a nice P&L, everything works. But then you may not, let's say you have $10,000 in your account, but you can't really do a Thinkorswim. I think it's $12,000. A TD Ameritrade is like $12,000, I heard when he was telling me. I don't know if that's true or not, for one contract. So finding the right broker is very, very important. That's why when I talk to people, they say to me, oh yeah, I have $5,000, you know, you think I can trade futures with it? Yes, you can. There's these 3 or 4 brokers I know, like an Optimist, like a GFF, like a TradeEZ, like a Ninja. They give $500 margin. So if you bought 3, 4 contracts, that's $2,000, $1,500, $2,000, versus having, you know, 3 or 4 contracts with with TradeStation. Now, I love TradeStation. Don't get me wrong. I've been using TradeStation since 2000. Okay, some people, but again, people have to like what they like. If you're trading foreign exchange, you have ATC. They use Awanda in the United States, and they use another third party in Europe. I think they use IG in Europe. If you want to trade futures here in the United States, it's important to know your tolerance level, what you feel comfortable about regarding the broker that you have. If you only have $5,000 in your account, well, I just tell you, TradeStation, as much as I love them, you can only do 2 contracts. And then if you lose 1,000, you can have a margin call because you just blew up, you know, you have $3,800 and you're close to your margin call. You can take that 5,000 and go to Optimist, GFF, Ninja, or TradeEZ, and you could buy 3 or 4 contracts, and that's $1,500 or $2,000. And if you want to do micros, they're $50 compared to, for those 4, compared to $500 for a TradeStation. So finding the right broker, like how many people I've talked to, hundreds of people didn't even know what a ladder system was. I tell them, I can repeat it. Go to TradingView, go to TradeStation and look at their ladder system. Go to Trading Technologies, MD Ladder. I'm not saying to buy it, but just get a feel for what a ladder system. Oh my God, this makes my life so much easier. Oh my God, I don't have to type orders in. Oh my God. CQG has a ladder system. Rhythmic has a ladder system. A lot of these firms have ladders. You want to be able to have the right broker to enhance your trading, to give you the edge in these fast markets. Imagine typing orders in like this, or having, you know, set hotkeys and then changing the hotkeys. It's impossible. You want to be able to have the right broker, the right margin, the right commissions that you feel comfortable with. And I always try to help you with that. And for transparency purposes, I don't get a dime of anything. If I talk to you, I can't recommend. I say, I think this firm is good. I think you should explore it. I think this firm would fulfill your needs. Okay, I don't get a dime. I don't get an affiliate deal. I don't do anything like that. I'm old school. If I send Optimist 200 customers, I don't get a check. I don't get nothing. I get screamed at by Matt sometimes, right? So as a joke, because we're good friends, okay? All right. So anyway, I just want you to understand that finding the right broker is something I help you with. If you need help, I'm here for you. Again, 914-500-7484. But if you don't need a broker, or if you need any questions, I'm always here to help you. Look, I'm on my 40th year. I do know what I'm talking about. If I can help you and I can help you, that'll be great. Okay. All right. The 9th thing, we're getting close to the end of the webinar. It's really important, is having the right setup. Now, I understand a lot of you work. A lot of you want to be home. A lot of you are driving. A lot of you are in the car. You're listening to me on the phone. I understand you can't have a setup like this, or even 3 or 4 monitors. But if you are sitting up at home, you need to have the right setup. If you're trading futures, well, you'll have to look at the S&P futures, the spiders, right? Maybe the SDSs, the 3-minute time frame, okay? And you have to have your ladders up, okay? All right. So with that, having the right setup, like I was talking to one person, he says, Stevie, it's so hard to follow you. I go, okay, time out. Let me just take 5 steps back. What are you using? Because I'm really using my laptop. I'm like, you can't trade with me just using a laptop. Well, I have my ladder up and everything like that. I'm like, what about the charts? You need to see what I'm teaching you. You need to see. So you don't have the right setup. Sometimes my head wants to spin around like Sybil. Like, I'm like, oh my God, you don't have the right setup. You know, it's like, come on, go invest a couple of $1,000. So go buy yourself a computer with 2 or 3 screens and a video card and get set up right. It's important to have the right setup, not because, not because I'm telling you what to do. If you want to see the market the right way, you need to have the right, you need to have the right setup. right? You want to see everything. You want to see, look, the reason, look, I'm getting given a gift from the good Lord. I can see 50 monitors if I wanted to. And it's not about me setting the Guinness Book of World Records, looking at 39, 40 monitors, whatever I have here. You know what it is? I get to feel. I love it. I get to feel. I see everything, and I translate everything I'm seeing to you. So a couple of days ago, a guy says to me, "CV, I want to look at all 4 ETFs." I'm like, "Okay, you can do whatever you want. What's the problem?" He said, "I only have 4 monitors. So should I go out and buy 4 more?" I said, "What are you trading? Just the S&P futures?" I said, "You don't need to look at the other 3 ETFs. You have me, Diamonds, Qs, and the Russell. Just take the spiders, the SDSs, the S&P, and your ladder." But you know, I'm okay. So are you trading the diamonds? You trading the YMs? You trading the RTYs? Are you trading the Russell? No. I said, if you want, get one more computer or one more screen and put all 4 on one, and then you can see what the 15-minute time frames are doing. But you'll never be able to use a smaller time frame to pick up divergences, positive or negative, and you never be able to see the great patterns because you know everything's going to be condensed. So having the right setup, okay, is very important. It's like me, I'm crazy. Like if you take any of these symbols off, you'll see, and you hit, they'll be embedded in the screen. I really was, when I had my other room, I had 17, 18 of the big screens that threw off more heat than the sun, right? That I was so hot in there, but I had it just exactly what you want. I was in my comfort zone. And you know how many people have said to me, "Stevie, oh my God, you've changed my life. I'm seeing things for what they are now. I had bought 3 more monitors. I can see things and I'm making money and I'm doing great." Well, that is remarkable. That is beyond remarkable. But the most important thing is what? That you need to understand one thing and one thing only. That you want to do this right. You know, my father once said to me, "Stephen, go right in life. Always do right." Right? And you want to be able to do this right. Don't cut corners. Don't try to do this in a way, because it's real money. This is the major leagues, right? You want to be able to do this, and you came to TradeEZ because you want someone to help teach you and change your life. Look, I'm here sometimes till 11, 12 o'clock at night, talking to people all around the world. I'm here doing videos. I'm trying to do everything I can to help you all get this. And again, as one of the 5, the top 10 things is that it's a marathon, not a sprint. But remember, if you have the right setup, okay, and I can't tell you how many people don't have the right setup. That's why I put this in, because over the weekend, oh no, I look at, you know, just my laptop, I look at my phone. I'm like, what? I understand a lot of you work full time. I understand that you're not sitting home, you don't have that financial freedom just yet, right? But even at home at night, bring it up. You have the charts, look at the Tokyo session. Go back and replay and look at the patterns in certain names, the AMDs of the world, the Squares, the Russell, or any name that we look at, the Microsoft. Look at the divergences, study the charts, right? I have people who just listen to me on their phone. They're trading the S&Ps from another phone. That's okay, because they're working, I understand it, and they can't have a screen up on their work computer, right? So again, having the right setup is very, very important. And I fully understand, like I said earlier, that I really do fully understand why it's important, okay? That a lot of you can't have the right setup, but at least if you're going to trade from a laptop, try to plug in another screen or something like that, and grow as you're moving up and learning. Okay. All right. The last one I saved because for me it's the most important one. Oh, I mean, they're all important, don't get me wrong, but this one just drives me crazy. I must ask at least a dozen times a day, does anybody have any questions? Some do. I should be getting hundreds of questions. Okay. And I get maybe 4 here, 2 here, 3 here, nothing. But then somebody yesterday called me up and said to me, "Steve, I got to talk to you personally." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" You know why people don't want to ask questions? Because they're shy. or they feel if they ask a question, they're going to be just like destroyed. I'm like, that's not going to happen here. I mean, people on the Discord. So we're going to build a new part where the people who are members here are going to have their own personal chat. They don't have to be part of Discord. But when I get home at night, I literally got to tell you, I got to see the texts, boom, boom, the questions. Now, I'm exhausted. My eyes are, forget it. And you think that after doing this for 40 years, like I have like eyes when I was born? No. And so now all of a sudden, you want me to explain all these things. I am not reading it. I said, please call me. Today, somebody wrote me something this long. Yesterday, somebody wrote me this long. I'm like, please call me. Okay. And so why is it that, okay, why is it that you can't ask the question in real time? You know, somebody said to me one time, this is a true story. Mr. Kalayjian, yes? Do you have a strategy for 359? I said, yeah, you grab your car keys and get the hell out of here. The place bursted out and laughing forever. I mean, I couldn't believe. And the kid, and I was like, okay. So I'll answer a couple of these questions in a minute here, okay? So what's really important, okay, is that you need to ask. My father said to me all the time, Stephen, why do you ask why all the time? Because Dad, I want to learn. I want to know why. I want to figure it out. And I said it just like that to me, went like this to me. Oof. You know? And my father was no guy to mess around with. Trust me, back then. He was old school, you know? So again, I want you to learn. I want you to ask questions. No question's stupid. But the most important thing is you ask. And if you don't know, ask. And if you're really not certain, don't yes me to death. I'll tell you a great story. When I started working in Florida American Stock Exchange, my father said, I can't teach you. I said, okay. You're going to learn with Frankie. He walks me over to Frankie Emanuele, his good friend, who I used to go to his house all the time, and his wife and his kids and everything like that. I was, you know, right. And it was 81. So I was what? I was 19. No, I was 81. Yeah, I was 19. And Frankie says, thanks, Jack. Yeah, I got him from now. So Frankie says, Stevie, I'm going to say something. I know you come to my house. I know we're friends. I'm good friends with your father, but I'm going to teach you. But under one condition. If you don't know, don't yes me to death. If you yes me to death and I find out that you're lying to me, I don't want you ever to come back in this spot ever again. I said, Frankie, no problem. So Monday, he goes, let's start. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I have only half hour. Boom, 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 boom. I got it. Okay. Tuesday, I come back. Boom, 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 boom. I got it. Okay. Wednesday. Boom, 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 boom. Do you get it? No, Frank, I don't get it. Another 5 minutes. Boom, boom. Frank, I don't get it. I don't understand it. 5 more minutes. Now it's like 8:20. Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't get it. He goes, oh. I see this look on it. He wanted to kill me, right? 5 more minutes. Now it's 8:25. I only have like 5 more minutes. The 4th time he said to me, do you get it? I screamed so freaking loud, you could have heard me on the other end of the exchange floor. I said, Frank, I don't blanking get it. Like that. He says, you're going to make it. Because I did not BS him. I hang up sometimes with people and I say, listen to me. Don't yes me to death. Do you understand? Because I'll stay on the phone longer. Don't yes me to death. Because that's a sin in my book. Well, you're right. Okay, I really don't get it. Okay, don't BS me. I'm giving you my time. I'm not charging you or anything like that. Ask me the question. If I'm not explaining it properly to you, ask me a right way. All right, let me go over a couple questions here. So basically, Steve, do you do a lot of scalp trades during the session? Should new traders avoid? New traders absolutely avoid scalp. You hear the word scalp, go walk around the block, go get lunch, go wash your car, go do something. Scalp trading is only for the professional guys in the room. If you hear me say short strategy, buy strategy, or things like that, or buy divergent strategies or things like that, or sell divergent strategies, that's the trade you should be looking for, okay? What time frames do you use for your trading? On the indexes, 3, 5, 15, 30 and hourly. On the stocks, 5 and the 15. What are the three primary indicators of the triple Lindy? The triple Lindy is number one, the MACDs. I'm sorry, the first thing is left to right. The 15-minute time frame on indicator 3 is turning up. Indicator, the next thing is the MACDs on the 3-minute and the 5-minute are crossing up positive, yellow over blue from below the pivot. The next thing is indicator 4, on the 3 and the 5-minute time frame, the algorithm flipped positive, and then you wait for the pullback on the 3-minute time frame. We have a video on this if anybody wants that. Albert, just DM Albert, and he has the video. Do you use VWAP for trading? Absolutely not. What is the best time frame for swing trading? It depends. It could be the 60-minute combined with the hourly. So the 60-minute combined with the hourly. If you were narrow things to maybe one futures ETF group and 4 stocks and focus on the study of the chart, what would it be? Let's see. So I would love to have the S&P, the spiders with the SDSs. Okay, or you. I don't think you should trade the. Well, you could. Okay, so you could do this. You could use the S&Ps with the SSOs, or the spiders, or the SPXLs, but you need the SDSs here. So the 3 longs, right? S&P, SSOs, SPXLs, right? And you need the SPXUs or the SDSs. Now, the SPXUs, if the S&Ps drop like 15, are going to move like 11 cents. So I don't like the SPXUs. I like to try the SPXUs for extremes, buy in or sell. Okay, so the SDSs would be good, but I'd rather trade the shorts on the spiders or the SSOs versus being the long on the SDSs. AMD, I love, absolutely. Apple's great. Meta for beginner, Microsoft, I love. What would you start off with to narrow it down? So if you're familiar with futures great. If you're not, that's a learning curve. I have to teach you. I love AMD. I think AMD is the #1 stock on the board by far. So I would narrow it down to AMD. Then I would go with, it depends on also your capital in your account, right? If you have the $25,000 in your account, you can use day trade. I'd rather trade AMD, and I would rather then trade maybe like the TQQQs, right? Or something like that because it depends on the capital. I don't know what your capital is. So if you have the $25,000 in your account, okay, then I would look to trade AMD and Apple, Meta, and Microsoft are in the 200s, 180 to 200, 170 to 200 range, 280 range. I probably then would replace those 3 with like a TQQQs. I opened so many eyes with the SQQQs with people around the world. So the SQQQs are great, which is the inverse. You can go long, you can go short based upon the NASDAQ. Same thing with the TQQQs. You can go long or you can go short. So my favorite would be the S&P futures. If you know futures, great. AMD, and then the TQQQs and the SQQQs. Okay. All right. Let me see more messages here. Let's see. Can we please get a link to the video? I'm sure we are. Where are your group training videos? They should be in the platinum section. When the trading QQQ, how do we estimate how far we will go down once the Fed stops tuning? When trading Qs, how do we estimate how far it will go down once the Fed stops? See, again, that's an opinion. I don't really care. I don't have an idea. And so I can't even answer that because I trade what I see, and I want you to trade what you see. I'm not going to take a position based upon what the Fed stops QE and buying, mortgage-backed securities. So I'm not going to get into that. It's, again, it goes back to what I say, you trade what you see. How do you define stop ranges so you don't get stopped out too often? Great question. I find that a lot of people that don't adhere to my stops and use their own stops, and they're constantly getting flushed out. What I do is, if I look at my weighted moving average and I'm looking to short and I get into a range, I always go 2 above the top of the range. So if I'm looking to short something, AMD, like today, 101 to 102, I'll use a 102.30 stop, but I'll scale in 3 or 4 times. That's what I would do, 3 or 4 times. Keep the position. I would do pyramiding. That means if I do 1,000 here, 2,000 here, 3,000 here, then I'm short 6,000. Well, and maybe I do another 4,000 up here, maybe a 4th entry to bring up my average price. I'll always have my stop in. So I think the way to define it is I like to do $1 ranges. Okay, on S&Ps, I like to do 10 handle ranges. Okay, so if I go like 89 to 79, like I did before, maybe you don't want to get to 89, maybe go to 88 or 87.5 and scale in 3 times, and then that's how I would do it. Okay, and the stops are always based upon the 10, whatever number I look at where it gets the moving average, and then I'll go 10, and then the 2 over is where the stop is. Why don't I like the 1 minute chart? I'll be in the hospital if I looked at the 1 minute chart. Okay, so I'm not even trying to be funny. What should we expect when they first sign up for your platform? What you expect is you're going to be completely confused. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be completely like me being dropped off in France and asking, how do I walk around the town, and asking to look at me like I have 9 heads, right? So what you need to do is take a step back, learn, and come in dynamically. And trust me, I've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times, that you will get this, you will understand this, and it will come with time. And so what you're going to learn is understanding what my room is about, okay, understanding the terminology, understanding the strategies as I teach them to you, the trends, the buy reversals, the sell reversals, all the divergences, understanding what I look at on my chart, the 4 indicators, the 4 numbers to the right, okay? And so it's going to come, it's going to evolve, and it just takes time. It's, again, this goes back to what, I said earlier, you're not going to be able to, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So learn each and every day. If you come in for an hour, 5 hours, 7 hours, 2 hours, you're going to learn, because I teach based upon 2 words, repetition and visualization. Okay. All right. More questions here. So I hope and you can call me at 914-500-7484, Jay, if you want to ask, me any more about that. Okay. What are the biggest mistakes even experienced traders still do? Oversize a position. I think oversize a position. Okay. How should I set my goals for day trading micros as a beginner? As a beginner, I would probably say, let's start with making $50 a day, and then bumping it up to $100 a day. Okay. And then moving it up like that. Rule 11, if you don't master rule 1, the others. Very good, Harvey. Exactly. Less than 1 mile is using this brand. Okay. What else? Okay. I think that's it. And we went for about, I don't know, almost, Jesus, an hour and a half. Everybody, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on. And I'm very serious. I love this game. I really want to help all of you. My team, Ashling, Joe, and myself, really put the pride and the passion to really want you guys to succeed. And so, this is not, I've been around the block a long, long time. I told you, like I said, I'm on my 40th year. I've seen hoopalitis everywhere, meaning I've been in this game and I see people just, not caring for others and just looking for subscriptions and all the nonsense. And, but we don't, we care. We, Ashling is on top of all the customer support. She's working till, she's in Dublin, Ireland. She's working till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Joe, myself, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to people all around the world. And I just want everybody to realize that, we're here for you, and our goal is for you to learn. Our goal is here for you guys to change your life, to better your life, to really get this. There's nothing greater in the world than when people say to me, Steve, I freaking got it. Look at my P&L today, And so again, I want to say thank you. Again, anybody has any questions, you can text me at 914-500-7484. I will tell you that there is not one person I've never not called back. Everybody, God bless you. Ashling, thank you very much. God bless all of you. Be well and be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so please, the 10 commandments, listen, read them, watch this over and over again. These are serious things. I took the time because I just said to myself, I got to do this. Okay, God bless everybody. Be well, everybody. Take care.